guess it's a little bit of this. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so this level is somewhat interesting in the fact that, well, if we were to look at the map, it would show us that there's a ferry here. I believe this is the way it is. If you can find ferries on the map, and I want to say that they're guaranteed to have a skill unlocked that you would normally have to go through yourself. I don't think, I forget if they're like good or something. I'm not sure. Overlay. Like, I'm not sure if they would be a good skill that you need to grind up a lot for. That will be completely free. But on the note of how ferries work, you have a select few of them, or I guess a few ferry slots you can have, or you have, and for every map you complete, or I guess it should say beat, you unlock the ability to hold one more. I forget how exactly ferry releasing works, because I know that they give off, or they can drop something for doing that. I just don't know if you need to invest in them somewhat for that to happen. Because, like I say that because the ferries that you release drop the best ferry food for skill unlocking, the ferry skill unlocking. Probably would have been a little bit more relevant earlier, but I'm considering that if I should go ahead and make a guide for my ferry eventually. I think if I do eventually do one, it's not going to be until we have a little bit more resources to pull from. Because like at the moment we don't really have anything of note to do. I think maybe it might be a little bit later when yeah, it might be a little bit later when I don't know, doing a thing. But that being said, I could easily point you to a guide for my ferry because, well, ferries definitely make this game a little bit easier. It can definitely make things like much more smoother. Like allowing you just to fall on magic. Also, I should say that there's a skill regarding magic. I believe it's Magic Fountain that people highly recommend. But to be completely honest, I guess that one would be a little bit more immediate. I just like magic bombs because it is something you can passively work on, and really, if you are trying to get all the medals in this game, which I guess are achievements, you will need to refresh and feed your fairy a lot of food to get one of the medals, and actually on the note, I'm really disappointed that one of the medals in the 3DS version is unlocking all of the fairy clothes. That might not seem like an issue, but one of the, like, it hasn't been updated to not include clothing you get from events. So if you weren't playing the game at a certain time, you just didn't get a certain version of the game, I believe you just cannot get 100% So I guess maybe in the flung future, I might consider going out of my way to get 100% in the game itself. It's just that there's just some modes I don't know how to feel about, particularly against Fury. It's like, I feel like that was kind of supposed to be a giant mode of being like playing as the boss or playing as a giant boss and like feeling invincible, but it does not feel like that. It does not feel like that at all. Ganon's a glass cannon who only has like one attack. Just, I should probably check this just to be safe. There is something in the West Keep for us, so we need to go that way. Yeah, I don't know if we do need to do that for 100%, but I do suppose it does make sense. Why is intro? Trouble. Okay. I'm going to assume that we do need Impa. Like, she's a character that we do need. Okay, I'm coming over. Please don't die. Impa? Okay, there we go. Just, that's very annoying. So I really thought that this was going to be a fight between two opposing factions, like that sort of level, where you have to like balance how much trying to think of the word. Like, aggro doesn't really work. I guess maybe strength? Well, I guess the boost of how much, the boost of what everything gets. But no, that doesn't really seem like it. Unless they did change it for this version, which I mean... Thank you, I guess. Do we need to do challenge mode to get 100% in this game? Is that a requirement? I don't know. Definitely needs to look at it. Although, like, definitely that being said, by 100%ing adventure mode, you do get quite a lot, like a lot of the way there. Since a lot of the medals are just based on thingy thing in this mode specifically. I would like to do the thing, please. Probably might help if I do some Midna things. Just ever so slightly. Interesting. Just did not know that it would have done the thing. Like, I thought I would have had a little bit more time, but apparently not. Can we... Let me in, please. Just, I can understand why they did it, but like, I'm not a fan of events being tied behind the notification log, I guess you could say. Boy, this is going to be a case of fairies being locked behind a certain thing. Like what? So I definitely get the feeling that we should have probably found it. Although that being said, it was in the Keep Awards. I guess treasure. Although I guess that being said, if I do need to come back here, it probably won't be so bad. Maybe. Not to mention that at the current point I am kind of focusing on one fairy. I don't exactly need more to work on. Okay, wow, we smashed that. Okay, do we need to go back through to find this fairy? Okay. So, fairies are in pots. That is good to know. I think I might just handle fairies like fairy food and like just cut away to one up to me finding them, I guess. I mean, we do need to do a few vanillas eventually, so it only makes sense. And I think for this one I will kind of come around to doing the thing. Ooh, yes, before I lose track, trying to think of the way to word this. Yeah, before I lose track, if you are to build out a fairy, something that is highly suggested you do is you want the element of the fairy nuke gives out to be fire, specifically double bombos, as each element gives off specific effects, and the effect you want to have is bombos, which is lowering defense, I should say. At the top of my mind, I don't quite remember what the other elements do. I think I wanted to say one of them slows the enemy down. I think that might be water. I forget if there's one that just outright gives you an attack buff ever so slightly. I forget. But yeah, double bombers is totally the one you want to get for, or the one you want. Do we need to be careful about this one? Is this a chicken we don't need to, So interesting to note that this level also features fairies. Right, no, this is a thing that we need to be careful of. Yeah. So that is something to note, and I should say that the element of the fairy itself has no impact on... I wanted to say anything. Like, it's just a thing. It's something that is there. Although I could definitely be wrong. Like, I wanted to say that while it doesn't give off a buff to the fairy nuke skills, like in the way of same type attack bonus, like in Pokemon. But it's more so. I think if anything, it's going to be. We shouldn't have done it that way, but okay, whatever. Yeah, if anything, it's going to be the type of the fairy kind of influences the type of the fairy, the element of the fairy nuke. Maybe. Like say, you have a fire fairy, and I wanted to say that without any influence will influence the I guess outside influence will influence the typing the next element of the fairy nuke will be. I wanted to say. Hopefully, I don't know. See, maybe not even hopefully, just maybe. Also, just remembered that this is, I know, okay, a more interesting Skulltula requirement. Completely forgot about it. Yeah. So yeah, that is a thing. Although I want to say that the food you feed a fairy has an element that has an element assigned to it, and I don't think the game outright shows that to you, which is really annoying, because it can just be really hard to just like pass it, like raise a fairy just without the need for a guide, but you know, whatever. Hey, I will skip out until skip to when we've unlocked the first Skulltula. Okay, well, there's a chest, which I think should be a heart piece. Okay, I was gonna say, and then any moment we should have the Skulltula appearing. Kinda sucks that's on the other side of the map, and kind of what I mean by in the levels you'd kind of want our statues to be in, they're not in. It's alright, that was totally something I should probably mentioned a lot sooner. That being that I have added time codes and time codes to the levels that we played in these episodes. And I've even added separate playlists for each map. So if you wanted to have a quick reference as to where things happened, that will be it. Although I am planning on eventually adding in time codes to the previous episodes. It's just, I don't know when those are going to happen, like how much I'm going to work on that. I don't know, maybe I might try and do like 10 episodes like a week or something. Maybe, I don't know. I just know it might take a while for the previous episodes to get back up to date, or like to get up to date. And something I do really want to include, and I think I did start event like really early on, is having a Google Doc for reference, so that if you were looking for a specific level, that would be the thing you want to go to, I think. Although maybe there might be something a little bit better to use than just a Google Doc. Maybe? Maybe. I'm not overly sure. I might need to look into it. How are we going on time? Okay, cool. Actually, I'm definitely thinking that, if anything, the level, yeah, the level of a level kind of dictates what the, A rank requirements are, I want to say. Just want to be a little bit, sure on that. Just because I do not want to do or get the A rank on time and damage, but not KOs, just by a few. Like, I can understand why they upped it, because like I've noticed that we've just been easily able to get way more KOs than anything else. It's just, I would vastly prefer it if every level's A rank requirement for KOs that needed one was 1600 and not 12k. 1200. Just, don't mind me. Soaking in the sight of Seer just one last time. Well, one last time before we absolutely roll over her. Although that being said, I should probably change Darunia's costume. If I can even. That is something to note. Ooh. Okay, so I am planning to have the next episode be the episode in which we go do Toon Link's training montage. Do I want to do it now? Because to be completely honest, I don't know how long that's going to take. And like, not that I mind a longer episode, because like that's probably likely to be a longer episode in and of itself, but do I have the stamina at the moment to do it? Is the thing. That I do not know. So I guess, being completely honest, I think I might consider possibly maybe going ahead and recording a few episodes of the next chapter, maybe? Maybe, I just don't know. But that being said, I don't overly know what game I want to do after the next game. What is this level? I might be pushing it ever so slightly, but because this is a shorter level, maybe we do this. Okay, let's use the summoning gate. Yeah, I do really need to work on that. Like, I know I shouldn't really be asking for more quality of life features in the way that just kind of smooths over the experience entirely, but something that would be really, really, really helpful is if there was a way to pay to unlock the sealed skills, only because just to be a little bit, just ever so slightly frustrating to get a good skill on a weapon that you're not. I'm trying to think of the wording of this. Get a sealed skill on a weapon that is slightly lower tiered than the one you kind of want to have, and then in the process of unlocking that sealed skill, because I believe you can't transfer them onto a better weapon, you get a better skill. Well, you get a better weapon on a. You get the version of that on a better weapon. Why? Because I believe that 5-star is probably going to be yeah, that 5-star is probably going to be heart power. I think that's one of the best skills in the game. Okay, completely honest here, I kind of forgot how to do Lana Gate things. Right, okay, right, there's RNG involved in this. Because... yeah, right, trying to think of the wording of how to word this. There's enhanced versions of her combos, and the way to get those enhanced versions of those combos is via her first combo attack. That's it. And then, since that's completely random, you kind of need to do the thing. Okay. Because yeah, that's right. I believe that's C4. That'll be there. Right. No, don't. Although what? Okay, yeah, right. C2. Also known as the juggling. Yeah, the juggling attack. I'm trying to think of which I should focus on at the moment. Although, it definitely feels a little bit weird seeing an enemy like the Big Blin with like a ranged attack. Like what? Why? I should probably have waited. That's why he wasn't doing this thing. Completely forgot about that. Although I feel like we took way too much damage. So let's say, why do I think we took too much damage? Still thinking like this is the Wii U version. It's percentage based, not numbers based. Because, like, how much damage did we take there in terms of hearts? Like, a lot of them. Okay, it's not Lana. Okay, so because we still need to do these 2 levels, or we need to do this one, I would like to show off this one. I think I might go ahead and record them now, or record the footage for them now, and then if I feel like it, then I will go ahead and do Toon Link's training montage, I think. But yeah, until then, that is when I'll see you. Okay, editing what he is popping in. This level wasn't difficult in the slightest. I'm just wanting to note that with these types of Skulltulas, it's only so much an issue with characters that don't have a wide force attack, the special attack, as you will need to constantly search out for your special meter, just trying to get more of it. It's really easy if you can get like 50 per, because then you only need to do like 3 special attacks, and then apart from that you can just go about the level normally. So yeah, back to the music.